But when I got there, I found out that we still have a campus ministry, even though we don't have any full-time staff, but we kind of like paid a little kind of compensation money, and then the seminary student, they just go to campus and then help having Bible study for the students. So we have a total of 20, 30 students by the time from 3 different campuses. But then God was really touched my heart as I meet those people, as I go to the campus. Since I have nothing to lose, it was very easy to start all the ministry. Just I go to UCLA because I rent the house, kind of like center of the all different kind of ministry. So my house located 60 miles away from UCLA. And then, but east side, there's a the UC Riverside, 65 miles. And then south, UC Irvine, 40 miles away. But I found the center of the kind of literally geographically. So every day I traveled like 60 miles west, east to the UCLA and west to the UC Riverside, and then down to Irvine. And that is how I started the ministry. But God was really blessed us so powerfully. And then those are 20, 30 students. Every year God added onto our ministry a lot of students. Last year, even this year, we found out there are like more or less 1,300 students are involved in our ministry right now.
Korean?
Yeah, Korean.
Korean?
Yeah.
In Southern California?
Yeah, California alone.
Wow.
California alone. And then we have 26 different campus ministry. And then they are so like, eager to participate in mission and prayer movement and morning prayer. As you know, KCCC, we put a lot of emphasis on prayer movement. So we have a lot of different kind of prayer kind of program. Like every campus has to have a morning prayer. That was how I began my ministry in UCLA. So I went there, just every class, the early class start at 8 a.m. So I challenge students, hey, before you go to any other classes to learn something, but let us come before God 7 a.m. and pray before you get involved in any other study. And then I challenged them, but nobody come. So first year I still remember like a whole year long I went there. Actually, since it is 60 miles away, and then it is LAX, a heavy traffic area is in the middle of it. So I had to leave my home by 5 a.m. and then arrive there even before 6. But I left my home, if I leave my home by 6, it will take 2 hours something. So always I leave my home by 5 a.m. and got there like 6 a.m. and waited student for a whole year long, but having no one come. But after 1 year, people, one by one show up, and then they learn how to pray. They learn how to dedicate, and then share the gospel. And that is how we start the ministry in UCLA. And now, I think a few months ago, like one of the students gave me a call and, hey, Pastor, you know what? This morning we have like a little over 50 students show up in our morning prayer in UCLA. So, oh, wow. I just want you to know about this. This is so exciting.
Yeah, that's great. That must be a tremendous joy to your heart.
Yeah.
It seems like the Lord has done a work in Korea and among Koreans in the area of prayer. I mean, it seems to be. When you think of Korea, when anybody thinks of Korea, think of a praying church.
Right.
Why is that, do you think?
Because, as you mentioned, when I was in Korea, prayer isn't really something special because everyone does. Every Korean church, you go to prayer, morning prayer, early dawn prayer, fasting prayer, all the stuff. But then when I got here in America, all of a sudden, America is different. Too busy, No one wants to come early, 4 in the morning. No. And then especially when they are talking about the 1.5 and second generation, these kids are different. They speak English and very cultural barrier, so kind of generation gap. So, they're not even ready to pray, So, I was thinking, it's not about generation gap because the the prayer and fasting and trusting the Lord, this is not something, kind of like a different issue. Even I was thinking like even 1,000 generation, have to come, but still prayer is important. This is something how we experience God, and this is how God is working in the midst of His people. So I said, no, I don't think so. Maybe up until now, it really doesn't happen, but I believe God can touch their heart, So just like in Korea, we have I used to teach to our students, we have a great heritage, like prayer heritage.
Yes.
You never know, but then in our blood, you know what? In your blood, you have a Korean heritage,
Amen.
eagerness of prayer. So you better find out, you have that kind of, the heritage. So I teach them to how to do the morning prayer and how to fasting, And I still remember the first our conference. We have a Christmas conference every the winter after Christmas, and then the first Christmas conference I hosted, we have only 70 students. But I tell them, hey, we have a great tradition of having fasting in the conference. So we're gonna have just 3 meals, 1 day fasting, and then I noticed that the student got kind of paled already. Oh my gosh, I knew this. That's why the price is so cheap. Oh my gosh, So I said, no, it's nothing about the money stuff. This is really important. You will love it. You'll enjoy it. But then, and the girl after orientation, she came to me, Pastor, I never done this before. And then you know what? I might die. So I said, you know what? If you die, you will be glorious. Nobody died over the fasting last 50 years of KCC ministry. You will be famous. You will be history in the show.